Under the cloak of darkness, a squad of elite Navy SEALs prepared for a mission like no other. Guided by the determination of President Barack Obama, they boarded two Black Hawk helicopters stationed in Afghanistan, ready to embark on a 120-mile journey into history. In just 40 minutes, the SEALs closed in on their target, Osama bin Laden's compound. Then, at the stroke of 1 a.m. Pakistan Standard Time, it happened. Bin Laden's reign of terror met its end. But was it that easy? For years, the world's best forces relentlessly searched for bin Laden's hideout, the man behind the 9/11 attacks. He was a shadowy figure, always one step ahead of those who sought to bring him to justice. So how did the elusive Osama bin Laden get caught? This is the gripping tale of the CIA's relentless pursuit. Let's a flashback to 2004, when a shocking tape stunned the world. Published by Al Jazeera, this tape featured Osama bin Laden claiming responsibility for the 9/11 attacks more directly than ever before. It was a chilling reminder of the most wanted man on the planet, seemingly feeling safe wherever he was. Simultaneously, at the CIA headquarters in Virginia, a special unit was tasked with finding bin Laden, but every lead had grown cold. This frustration was particularly poignant because nearly 3 years earlier, they had believed they were on the verge of capturing him. Rewind to the end of the 2001 US invasion of Afghanistan, al-Qaeda fighters had retreated to the eastern part of the country, taking refuge in the caves of Tora Bora. American intelligence agencies suspected bin Laden to be among them. With the support of American forces, local Afghan tribes engaged in intense battles and airstrikes, hoping to capture him. However, when they finally emerged victorious, bin Laden had managed to slip away. After the fighting subsided, only around 20 individuals were arrested, leaving the CIA empty-handed and regretting what seemed like a missed opportunity to capture al-Qaeda's leader. Nonetheless, among those arrested in the Tora Bora region, one individual would eventually provide a lead for investigators to follow. Before he was apprehended, investigators had no prior knowledge of Mohammed al-Qahtani. He claimed no ties to al-Qaeda, asserting that he was in Afghanistan pursuing his interest in falconry. However, when authorities took his fingerprints, they made a startling discovery, a match in their database. As they delved deeper, they learned that just a few weeks before the September 11th attacks, al-Qahtani had attempted to enter the United States. He had $2,800 in cash, a one-way ticket, and caught the attention of a vigilant customs agent who suspected he might be trying to enter the country illegally. What further raised suspicions was that on the same day, a call had been made from Orlando Airport to an al-Qaeda phone number in the United Arab Emirates. This number had been under surveillance, and al-Qahtani's presence at the airport at the same time triggered a flurry of efforts to establish a connection between these events. FBI agents meticulously combed through heaps of airport surveillance footage, determined to unearth more leads. Eventually, they succeeded in identifying a car that had been rented by none other than Mohammed Atta. Atta, the mastermind behind the September 11 attacks, had piloted American Airlines Flight 11, which struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center. It was concluded that Atta had been waiting at the airport to pick up al-Qahtani. Many believe that Mohammed al-Qahtani was meant to be one of the hijackers on United Airlines Flight 93, the flight that tragically crashed in Pennsylvania as brave passengers attempted to regain control from the attackers. Armed with this knowledge, investigators interrogated al-Qahtani, marking the beginning of a series of key interrogations with al-Qaeda detainees in the following months and years. These interrogations shed light on the inner workings of the terrorist group. In March 2002, Abu Zubaydah, a logistical figure within al-Qaeda, was arrested and provided the CIA with critical information. He revealed that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, al-Qaeda's operational commander, had orchestrated the 9/11 attacks. A year later, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed himself was apprehended, and al-Qahtani disclosed a pivotal detail. In July 2001, in preparation for the attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed had introduced al-Qahtani to someone previously unknown to the CIA, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. This individual had trained al-Qahtani in operational security. These revelations helped investigators gain a clearer understanding of al-Qaeda's structure. They discerned layers of operatives with varying levels of training, a command and planning hierarchy, and Osama bin Laden as the leader. However, the one crucial piece that still eluded them was bin Laden's whereabouts. The CIA worked diligently to map out relationships and understand who was in close contact with bin Laden, as well as how he communicated from his hiding place. They also scrutinized bin Laden's private network, including his family members, but found no contact between bin Laden and those family members who could be located. The search for the world's most wanted man continued with determination and diligence. The CIA had a clear understanding that Osama bin Laden was still communicating with his inner circle through audio tapes that periodically surfaced. These tapes indicated that he was in contact with high-ranking members of al-Qaeda. In response, the CIA adopted a strategy focused on identifying the courier network, individuals responsible for transporting vital information. In mid-January 2004, Kurdish security forces made a significant arrest when they apprehended a man named Hassan Gul. Gul was found in possession of a letter addressed to bin Laden. He was handed over to American authorities for interrogation, and during this process, he provided crucial information that shed light on a key figure in the hunt for bin Laden. Hassan Gul revealed that Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti was the person operating as bin Laden's personal courier. As the investigation zeroed in on Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, conflicting information emerged regarding his role within al-Qaeda. Gul suggested that Kuwaiti played a significant role, being familiar with both Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and his successor, Abu Faraj al-Libi. However, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed offered a contrasting perspective, downplaying Kuwaiti's importance and claiming that he had retired and was no longer active within the organization. This divergence in accounts added complexity to the pursuit of bin Laden's courier and, by extension, bin Laden himself. In May 2005, Abu Faraj al-Libi, a high-ranking al-Qaeda figure, was arrested in Pakistan. Much like others, he vehemently denied Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti's significant role. The confusion surrounding Kuwaiti's role persisted, with Hambali, a guide who previously led al-Qaeda's Southeast Asian affiliate group, suggesting that Kuwaiti did indeed have a role. According to Hambali, Kuwaiti managed a safe house in Karachi when the Taliban fled Afghanistan. These conflicting statements only added to the intrigue surrounding Kuwaiti. The challenge, however, was that not much was known about Kuwaiti beyond his name. Even his name wasn't his real one. It was an alias that roughly translates to "father of Ahmed from Kuwait." During this pursuit, it's worth noting that controversial methods were used during the interrogation of prisoners. Many of them were subjected to what's called enhanced interrogation techniques, which involved abusive treatment, including forms of torture such as waterboarding. A 2014 Senate Intelligence Committee report found that these techniques were ineffective in gathering information about bin Laden. There's also a broader discussion about whether the CIA's actions, seemingly operating outside the bounds of the law, might have damaged national security. What's your opinion on this? Let us know in the comment section. In 2007, the CIA finally obtained the crucial piece of information they had been seeking: the true identity of the individual known as Kuwaiti. Surprisingly, this breakthrough didn't come from their own intelligence efforts, but from an undisclosed foreign intelligence service. Interesting, right? The revelation unveiled Kuwaiti's true name, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed. He was a Pakistani who had relocated to Kuwait with his family. However, even though they now had his real name, it would still take several more years for the CIA to locate him. In June 2010, there was a significant development in the hunt for Kuwaiti, the courier believed to be connected to Osama bin Laden. Kuwaiti and his brother changed their communication methods, which allowed authorities to track the location of their phone calls. The NSA intercepted phone numbers suspected to be linked to Kuwaiti from a third country, leading to the monitoring of various conversations. One particular individual caught the investigators' attention as he seemed to fit the profile of Kuwaiti. He spoke a mixture of Arabic and Pashto, a language spoken in northwestern Pakistan. During a conversation with a friend in the Persian Gulf, he evaded questions about his whereabouts, suggesting he was with familiar people. This person also took precautions to avoid being tracked, often keeping his phone off and only activating it when in the vicinity of the city of Peshawar. As the evidence increasingly pointed to this individual being Kuwaiti, efforts were made to track him on the ground. In August 2010, a Pakistani CIA agent managed to identify him in his car in Peshawar and secretly followed him to his residence. The investigators were surprised to discover that Kuwaiti lived in a large compound. They had initially anticipated monitoring Kuwaiti until he led them to bin Laden's hideout. However, the size of the compound raised suspicions that bin Laden might already be residing there, potentially under the same roof as Kuwaiti. Although Washington wasn't entirely certain at the time, they believed they had located bin Laden. The manhunt that had been a top priority since the September 11 attacks was now in its final stages. The task shifted from intelligence agents to a team of special units who were preparing for a raid on the compound. On May 1, 2011, at 11 p.m. local time, 2 Black Hawk helicopters equipped with stealth technology took off from Jalalabad airfield and headed toward bin Laden's compound. The mission faced a significant challenge because the United States government had chosen not to inform Pakistan about the operation. This decision meant that the Navy SEALs had to execute the mission covertly, an even more daunting task given that bin Laden's compound was situated next to a Pakistani military academy. Reports described the compound as a fortress with barbed wire, 18-foot walls and 7-foot walls around the balconies. It was designed to hide from view, making it a challenging target. As the operation kicked off, one of the helicopters clipped the compound wall, leading to a soft crash landing. Thankfully, there were no major injuries, but the helicopter had to be destroyed to prevent sensitive technology from falling into the wrong hands. Guided by night vision goggles in the darkness caused by a power outage, the SEALs infiltrated the compound. They eliminated any threats, ensured the safety of women and children, cleared weapons caches, and collected items that could contain crucial information, such as hard drives and cell phones. Their swift ascent took them to the 3rd floor, where they found bin Laden in his bedroom and neutralized him. Initial DNA analysis in the intelligence community provided a near 100% match with DNA from several bin Laden family members. Bin Laden's body was later buried at sea. If you liked this video and want to watch something similar, just click on the exciting video right there on your screen. And if you want to keep exploring the world of secrets, missions, and crime history with us, make sure to subscribe to our channel.